Hello everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your time here with me on my channel, and I'm going to comment on Mercari changing their fee structure. This was one of the biggest mistakes they made, and I think this is a good thing that they are rolling back and basically admitting, hey, we messed up. Sorry, here's how the new thing's gonna work. So, several months ago, Mercari made a change where they were going to put the selling fees on the buyers to pay, not the sellers. Now, if you're a seller, sometimes your initial knee-jerk reaction is, oh, good, that means whatever someone offers to buy the item for, that's what they're going to pay. There's no, oh, I'm offering them $23 to sell this item, and then when everything's all said and done, I get $19. Like, on the surface, that sounds like a good thing. You get what you pay for. But I had a feeling this would be like a really bad thing. I felt that when this went into effect, that basically it was going to encourage people to buy less because they have that same knee-jerk reaction. They add something to their cart for $24. They expect to be paying $24, maybe some shipping as well, and then they're hit with a fee of a couple dollars or something like that to use the Mercari platform, and they're like, why the heck am I paying to buy from you? Like, you should be glad that I'm buying from your platform. Amazon doesn't charge fees to buy from their platform unless you count Amazon Prime, which I don't. Best Buy doesn't do this. So I felt it would be a bad thing, and I'm not going to lie. My experience with the new fee structure has been mostly negative. I'll explain more later in the video, but Mercari has basically said, yeah, we goofed, so we're going to change it back. Here's what it says on their Help Center page. Dear Mercari community, our goal has always been to deliver the value you deserve whether you buy or sell on Mercari. We went back to the drawing board and thought about the value you deserve and have an important update to share with you. And this is in bold, so you know this is the important part. We're rolling out a new fee structure starting January 6, 2025. This change comes after listening to your feedback and recognizing the need to make an adjustment based on the benefits you expect from Mercari. When we initially introduced our current fee structure in March, our aim was to make selling more accessible to sellers. And I'm going to pause for a second and say, you know what, that's nice. Rarely do these selling platforms actually take the sellers into account. They're only worried about the buyers. Maybe that's because Mercari is a Japanese company and the Japanese tend to be more respectful of other people and their work ethic. So I appreciate them at least thinking outside the box in that regard. It just wasn't a good idea. Continuing. However, while sellers got to keep 100% of their sales proceeds, sellers experienced fewer sales because items were less affordable for buyers. We realized our current fee structure underserved buyers, wasn't helping sellers sell more, and ultimately negatively impacted Mercari and our community by reducing overall transactions on the marketplace. The new fee structure addresses these concerns. So here's what the new fee structure is. In light of the above, to help ensure you get the value you deserve, we are reintroducing a selling fee and lowering the buyer fee. So that's actually positive. They're actually lowering a fee for once. Sellers will pay a flat 10% selling fee. Buyers pay a flat 3.6% buyer protection fee. Here's how it works. For sellers, a flat 10% selling fee applies to the completed item price and buyer paid shipping. We're removing the ACH direct deposit fee for successful withdrawal transactions, limit to one ACH direct deposit per day. So again, that's a positive. That means I might actually go back to doing a typical withdrawal because I always doing the instant transfers because, like, look, if I got to pay $2 to get this money withdrawn, I'm going to pay $1 more to get it removed instantly. Now for buyers, a flat 3.6% buyer protection fee applies to the completed item price and buyer paid shipping. The buyer protection fee reflects the following: a cancellation and refund policy, returns on qualifying items, 24/7 customer support, trusted transactions. There will be no additional payment processing fee. So they're not completely taking away fee from the buyers, but 3.6% is nothing. The new fee structure applies to new and updated listings starting on January 6, 2025, and may take up to 1 week to reflect automatically across all existing listings. To support this transition, later this month, you can choose to increase your listing prices in bulk so you can earn the same amount. I've already done that for the records. And then, you know, they reinstate their commitment to the community. Now, here's the thing. Here's the main reason why I believe this is a good move. I don't believe buyers should be paying the seller's fees. They just shouldn't have to do that. You know, when you go to a store, you're not paying for Target's electricity bill. You're not paying Target or Walmart for the employees. You're buying merchandise. When they see a price on the sticker, that's the price they expect to pay. Now, sure, there's things like tax on things like that. And if you pick an item up off the wrong shelf and the price tag doesn't reflect what the actual item is because someone put it there after they decided they didn't want it, that's a little different. But you're not going to go to Target or Vons or Albertsons or Dick's Sporting Goods and have them tackle like a 5% fee on top of the item price. Now, Mercari is charging for a buyer protection fee. We're going to see if that sticks around, but it is not the selling fee that was originally planned. And here's the thing, I would also rather pay the selling fee rather than have the buyers, because unlike my buyers, I am allowed to write off the seller's fees as a business expense. Like, I actually kind of depend on these fees to a certain extent. Like, yeah, they're taking a piece of the pie, and it adds up to a substantial amount of money near the end of the year, but that's a substantial amount of money that I can tell Uncle Sam he can't tax me on. And as a result, my tax return is usually bigger than it would normally be. So you know what? If I'm selling items and the buyers are paying those fees, I don't get to write that off. And then I probably get hurt during tax time. So this is why I think this is a good thing. I think purchasing will hopefully return and rebound on Mercari now that they're not getting hit with this fee, because you have to keep in mind, like, I'm going to share like a little story. There was a comic book that someone wanted to buy from me, and they offered me $80 because this was a rare one. Now, I probably could have gotten a little bit more, but you know, I've had it for a while. Sure, why not? I'll sell for $80. I could live with that. But then they backed out at the last minute because they didn't realize they were going to have to pay like the $8 selling fee plus the tax and the processing. So now it became over $90. And look, I'm not accusing this person of being cheap. I really am not. But, you know, they had it in their mind probably around the $80 to $85 mark. That's what they're willing to pay for this. And they're like, no, okay, look, with all these fees, can you lower it to 70? But the thing is, at that point, 70 is too low for me. I can't sell it that low, especially since I'm not getting any tax write-off advantage to this. I just couldn't do it, so it ended up being a stalemate, and I didn't make the sale. Now, some people might say, well, you know, you could have gone down $10. And look, I could have. I absolutely could have. But you see what the problem is. Because, especially with buyers, they're going to, when they offer you something, this is typically what they expect to pay. They are either unwilling or unable to pay a whole lot more. And with these fees, it actually cost me some sales. You know, somebody offered to buy the Frozen soundtrack for brand new. Now, I paid $1 for that CD, and so I sold it for $5. Yeah, I'll sell that for $5. But once the seller fee kicked in and the shipping and the tax, the CD was over $10. Well, why wouldn't you buy that from an online store that will give you free shipping at that point? Like, why wouldn't you do that? So I'm personally glad that Mercari has seemed to come to their senses, that this is going to be going away, that, hey, you know what? We tried, didn't work, let's try something else. So good on Mercari for actually changing what ended up being a, not disastrous, but a pretty unpopular change. In the meantime, though, I'd like to know, are you a seller Mercari? Do you like this change? If you don't or do, why? We'd love to know, so comment below and flame responsibly. Have a good one. Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Just a few more things. First of all, the names that you see on the screen, these are our Patreon and YouTube member supporters, and I thank each and every one of them. Their support helps me make exclusive videos for Patreon and YouTube members, as well as keep the channel running, and of course is just of huge kindness to me. Also, don't forget to check out the iCritic-led podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, Deezer, whatever podcasting service you listen to, it is there. We definitely want to see you there. And hey, there's also other videos that you can check out. So, you know, check out these other channels, these other videos, especially that one, I think that's a really good one.